Yeah, I watched all of the podcast episodes too, and they're all really good. But I did tell myself on the way here, I was like, I'm probably not going to watch my own.
You stood naked over Las Vegas.
You guys buried me.
Dude, I was like, I'm fucking salty. You were just like, good.
Wow, this makes me kind of nervous.
I'm a killer. I'm here to kill. I'm here to win.
All right. Well, that's your cue, Michelangelo. Bring us in.
Hey, what's up, everyone? We're here with another MADHouse episode. Much has happened since the last time we discussed things. And I've heard great things from people when we went to Guildhouse, loving the podcast and stuff. So that gives us, at least me, more motivation and energy to do these, because I'm like, wow, there's a lot of people. And they always ask me, how'd you like it? I'm like, I never watched these. I was in it. We talked about it.
You haven't watched any of them?
No, I've watched some. I did watch some, the early ones, but yeah, I mean, eventually I think I'm gonna get around.
Yeah, the first two that were his. But you know who was the person who asked him, like, hey, how'd you like the podcast? It was me, dude. He was like, I don't know what you're talking about. One guy was like, dude, El Cubanos was awesome. I'm like, oh yeah, we did that.
Yeah.
But hey, today's episode is Slycoco. What's up, Slycoco?
The
Hello.
slyest of Cocos.
Yeah, I watched all of the podcast episodes too, and they're all really good. But I did tell myself on the way here, I was like, I'm probably not going to watch my own. So I get where you're coming from.
I see what you're saying, because I don't watch any. I'm all in them.
He's going to have this notification on ready when it goes up. I guarantee you.
Ready.
You guys buried me. You edited everything. You made me look like a fool.
Yeah. So for those that know, Genesis Black just happened. I guess going around, how was everyone's experience? I guess from Dakota to me, so is Dakota, and Atlanta's here too. What the fuck, man?
Atlanta's off screen. He's doing official MADHouse business.
Oh, yeah,
so.
He's taking care of biz.
But just know Atlanta's here, guys. Okay,
Yeah.
He's here. He's chilling again. But okay, so Dakota, you're on Guildhouse. What's up?
No, Guildhouse was really cool, dude. You know, I always have a good time at Guildhouse, considering, you know, it's a little bit of a different community. A lot of the people that come out for that event are not always the same faces that we see for the events that we always throw ourselves. With that also being said, it was funny how much confidence I came in, where I was like, yo, I'm just gonna go and I'm gonna interview people, and we're gonna make all sorts of content. And then push came to shove, and I'm like looking at people, and I'm like, I don't want to interview anybody. This is not my thing at all. Only for a Fist of Fury to save my ass, dude.
Yeah, Fist was doing a bunch of interviews and stuff.
I was over here, like, I did everything I could to make it happen, where I forgot, like, a couple pieces of equipment, and I was like, no, I could still make it work. I'm gonna put the little microphone on like the end of a butter knife, right? Mm-hmm. And then I start walking up to people, and I'm like, yeah, I got nothing. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. But beyond that, dude, it was cool to hang out with Will, another person who's you may see around MADHouse events every now and then. Slight, I don't want to say official photographer, because at this point it's definitely Atlanta. He's taking the cake on that.
Yeah, definitely.
But no, dude, just making content, seeing everybody, being able to see you do your thing. Mm-hmm. Of course, seeing you get all dressed up that first day, that was pretty awesome, dude. Seeing you show up in a monochrome, I'm like, damn.
Dapper.
I thought, because it's Genesis Black, I was like, all black. Why not?
I hadn't even put that together, dude. I just thought you were being John Wick. You were just, I kept thinking about you talking about the John Wick pinball machine, and you're like, yeah, man, I'm a big fan of John Wick.
I am a fan of the John Wick pinball. I had a few people say John Wick when I was there. They're like, oh, and I think it's amazing. When I seen John Wick, I was like, because I wasn't sure if an all black suit would work ever. And when I seen John Wick, I'm like, fuck yeah. Because I always loved black since I was a teenager. I always wore all black. And like seeing that kind of confirmed, I was like, I need to get an all black. When Guildhouse Black happened, I was like, it's time to bust it out. No one caught it. They just said John Wick. I was waiting for someone to be like, oh, that's pretty clever. Like Genesis Black, all black. But hey, I think you appreciate my suits the most. Every time I pop in with a suit, you always give me a certain Dakota smile. That is like, it's like a
that's it right there. That's it right there.
It's very unexpected. Me growing up wearing a lot of suits, and like me now, I never wear suits ever. Maybe I might go back to that one day, right?
But you have a wedding coming up, so don't say never.
Well, like I said, I very seldom wear suits.
Gotcha.
Right? But with that being said, seeing you getting dressed up, it's like, wow, like this is, you're really trying. Like that's how I know like you really are about to put some effort in.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, dude, this guy came dressed for the occasion, right?
Yeah, I didn't put an effort the next day, which I still wore something like at least decent, because the first day I kind of felt out of place. I was like, no one is like dressed up. Like they were dressed decently, but I'm like the only guy like sticking out like a sore thumb kind of thing, where I'm like, I'm kind of in a suit and it's a little out of place. Like none of my co-commentators are kind of in one. Like
I really think being overdressed for an occasion is not an issue that you have to worry about, honestly.
You were more noticeable than almost all of the other commentators.
Okay.
I'm not a big How I Met Your Mother fan, but something I can always say is that one dude who Neil Patrick Harris played, Barney, always wearing a suit, right? He never, granted it is New York, right, or whatever the setting they're in, but he doesn't really stand out as much as everybody just says, wow, like he's at the bar, this guy looks sharp, right?
It's just more sharp looking, like a low-key flexing. He doesn't like, you don't really point out, you're like, damn, this guy's just different because he's in a suit. We kind of got used to it where it's normal, and he's just more sharp than everyone, like at all times.
He just looks like he's like he's just coming to the tournament after he just got done with his desk job.
Yeah.
He's just like, well, I just came here from my 9 to 5 and I'm ready to compete.
I gave him shit all the time about, I really pushed him to do that, but we'll talk about it for Low-Key's
Save that
episode and stuff.
I mean, that brings me to my point, right? If we do have a low-key flexing day, do you have your outfit Slycoco ready? Are you gonna wear the cherry Coke hat on Slycoco day?
I don't know what I'm gonna wear. Maybe I put on a button up for Low-Key,
dude.
You know, because that's like his look, right?
That is the business casual, but not super like, because he does wear some flowery shirts sometimes, very loud.
Yeah, they're pretty nice
with the pattern.
Mm-hmm. So that was your Genesis Black?
Absolutely, yeah. It was a good time making content, seeing all the familiar faces, dude, and it just gives me an idea of how to be better prepared for when we do go down to our next event, whether it be SoCal or any other major for that matter. What kind of content we want to make.
All right. Yeah. It's always awesome to see that. I love that, like, all of us are together, working together, you know.
Yeah.
We were all separated at one point, but now we're, you know, Guildhouse and everyone, it's like we're hardcore now. So I guess Michael.
I went to Guildhouse Black last year. It was very very packed, I think, because, like, you know, Street Fighter just recently came out still. And it was like just right after Evo again, I believe. But yeah, no, I had a good time. I was doing interviews because, you know, Dakota told me, you're better at this than I am. Keep going.
You are much better.
I don't know how, but whatever. I did good in Tekken. I don't want to talk about Street Fighter 6. For those who know. But other than that, yeah, you know, hanging out with everybody is always fun. I really can't complain. So, yeah. It was a fun time.
Yeah. And then now Slycoco, Man of the Hour. How was your experience?
It was a lot of fun. I think weekend tournaments are always a lot of fun. And then events that are like that big are always really good because a lot of the community comes together. So it's like a lot of people that you might see maybe once a week or like every other week. It always feels like a lot of people show up for like things like that. So it's always good to have the community like in one big place. There was a lot of like hype matches that went on. The energy was like booming. So that was cool. As far as competing wise, did all right, playing a new character. So didn't do the best. Got to play the champ, Tree Wiz, on his way to winning it. So
yes,
that was pretty sick.
To him.
Yeah, congrats to him. And then it was cool to watch you commentate.
Yeah.
So, you know, got to watch from the sidelines. So yeah, but like I said, it was a lot of fun. Always good to have the community together like that. And Guildhouse, I love Guildhouse as a venue. It's I do think, you know, even though it gets really crowded, I do think it's like pretty spacious for the most part.
Yes.
And it's just like, I always feel like there's like a lot going on. I feel like I'm on one side of the venue talking to people. I can go on the other and talk to people. You kind of chill outside and talk with people. So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. I remember there was one point where someone almost couldn't make it to commentate, and right away I thought of you. Right?
Yeah, that was really sweet.
I was like, Cherie, get Slycoco. I don't know where he's at. And she was like, okay. And because she actually suggested too, she was like, oh, I heard he wanted to commentate. And so she went to go get you. And then I guess by the time you guys were coming, the person showed up.
Yeah, well, we were. I happened to be right next to him.
Yeah, okay,
yeah. So, but that was very sweet of you. I appreciate it.
I always, you know, you're my baby because the first time you ever commentated, I dragged you on the stream because you were like shy and you were like, hey, can I commentate with you and stuff? I never did this. And right when you said I never did this, but we got to talking for like a couple hours at King's Cup. And I was like, I think this guy got something. And we just put you on. Boom.
Yeah.
And you kept like, you would, there's so many times when we've commentated, you announce that you're nervous. Just like when you're a little drunk, you say, I'm kind of drunk. But I love it because you're so friendly drunk.
Yeah.
When you announce something, I'm just like, oh, this is awesome. He's pointing something out. Like, cool. I could like either fuck with them more. Like, so like, yeah, when I brought you on for the first time, dude, you did it like the most natural I've ever had a new person on, where I was like, this can't be his first time. How did you feel that King's Cup first time like commentating and shit?
Okay. Actually, to be fair,
Yeah.
I guess that's my first time. I guess like in a setting like that, but the very, very, very first time I ever did it was like Street Fighter 5 days, and it was when Sunchips and Frank were hosting a tournament like in a really small card shop, and they let me do it then, and this was like post pandemic, so this is like 2020, 2021.
Yeah.
And I sometimes forget about it, and I sometimes don't count it for myself because that's like, talk about nervous and like stuttering over my words and like not talking a lot. That was that experience. And then the tournament was like really small too. This was like I said, like post pandemic, like the scene was like super dead. But shout out to like Sunchips and Frank for like trying to keep things alive like during that time. But they let me do it then. So that was like my very, very, very first time.
Wow. And you were nervous that time.
Oh, it was like bad.
But that's good. You got those cobwebs out, because to do that, and you said it was kind of just in a card shop, to do King's Cup, almost I think 100 plus people or something, and I never felt, I was like, oh damn, like he's not sure of himself or something.
Yeah, I don't know what compelled me to want to like ask you to do it.
When you went to that King's Cup, before that or anything, did you ever feel like, I want to commentate eventually?
I mean, I guess I did, because then, like I said, I did it for Frank and Sunchips.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I guess I had that feeling then. But that night, I don't really know what led me to make that decision to actually do it that night. And then yeah, you guys gave me a chance. And then, well, like working with you is pretty. You're so charismatic in your own way that like you made it easy for me to feel comfortable. And then also just like chatting with you beforehand, I was like, oh well, that's great that like out of all the people that like I'm meeting tonight, I get to do it with you, because I enjoyed our conversation beforehand. And then I don't know, I just went up there, I was like, I'm just gonna yap about the game.
Yeah.
And it just
you did.
Yeah.
You do great. I think you're a great analyst.
Thank
and
you.
give great info. So that was something that was fun.
I can't say that during when we were editing King's Cup and we were doing all that, hearing you like because at that time I was still trying to do banter videos, and I would kind of sit there and watch the whole VOD all the way through. Yeah, hearing you be like, yeah, this is like my first time or whatever, and then like just like hearing how smooth you were in some of the parts, I was like, there's no way, man, this guy's just like a natural. And that's why like I was always super down. Like every time I saw you, I was like, hey man, what's up, dude? I saw you were doing this, or saw you were doing that. Hey, good job on the commentary, right?
Yeah.
And every time then I was just like, yeah, just green. Whenever this guy wants to go, just let him in. Just let him rock.
So I feel you two are mainstays. I feel like when I was in France, I woke up at 4 a.m. because I'm like, a King's Cup's happening. I'll tune in for a bit. And right when I turn it on, it's not even a match. It's like you two. And I was like, hell yeah, like you guys are rocking King's Cup. And it was cool to see it from another country, where I'm like, I try to put myself in like just someone from another country that doesn't just is watching this stream. Like, what is this stream? What's going on? Like, wow, they look good. Their headers and the people and the vibe looks so fun. I missed it. I was like envious of it. I was like, damn, it's like a party right there. Like it was cool to see you two doing it. And going back to like the first time you commentated, I remember you announced another time when you were nervous when Atlanta and Dakota finally put the commentary on the surround sound at King's Cup, where you could hear yourself commentating and everyone could hear you. And right away, the moment you spoke, you had to say, wow, this makes me kind of nervous. I was like, yes. So I was just kind of like, let's feed into that. Like, who cares? Let's enjoy it. Let's have fun. And even though you're nervous sometimes, you still make us all feel like, because some people I feel crack, and you might be nervous, but we laugh about it. We go on with it. Sometimes you need a moment to pause, but it's a great time still. And I remember that is when I was like, oh, okay, I think this is going to level you up in commentary, is like feeling like it's just like you're in an arena or something and you
Yeah.
can hear yourself. But you adapted and you went through.
Yeah, I do remember that time when it was over the speakers for the first time. But it's like an initial nervousness, and then it just kind of goes away as soon as you kind of like lock in and you're like, all right, well, like my job here is to talk about what's going on. And
Yes.
yeah, and then at some point,
Blank out the noise.
yeah, and at some point you just kind of forget that that's even going on because I feel like, well, like if I'm used to talking to people on the stream, what difference is there other people in this venue? And most of the people in the venue, I like to assume, watch the streams anyways. So it's like, it's all the same audience more or less, right?
Yeah, and that when you're in the fire, it's not as nerve-wracking as the initial before you do it. Like I could even admit Guildhouse Black, an hour before, 30 minutes before, I'm the most nervous. I think too much about the future and what possibly could go wrong and many possibilities, and I just hate it. But then when I get up there, I'm like, I'm here. I'm in my natural element. I'm doing that. That's why I always tell people when you're in a tournament, and we've all been there where we go to Evo or whatever, and finally that hour hits where you're waiting for your match, right? That is the most nerve-wracking. And then the TO says, he calls your name. And sometimes someone will say like, oh, like the TO will ask you, do you want to go now or do you want to wait like, 5-10 minutes or something? Me, I always say like now, and sometimes my opponent will be shocked because I hate myself on the waiting. The waiting is the worst part because you think so terrible about the initial when you're in there. But once you're in there, it's like, dude, I'm having fun. This is what I practice for. So how do you guys feel like when you're waiting for your matches and stuff? What do you go through? What's your mindset to get ready for the matches?
I try to talk myself into being like, all right, I'm a killer. I'm here to kill. Like I'm here to win. Fuck all that other stuff. Or am I allowed to curse?
Yeah.
I'm always like, man, fuck all that other noise. Like I'm just here to I'm here to win. And then when I sit down, I might get nervous. It hasn't hit me in a while, but like I might get nervous. But for the most part, I'm like, dude, I'm trying to lock into Mamba mentality, like that winner mentality. But even at Evo this past year, I think there was a point where I got nervous because I was like one game away from. I was in losers already. I was like one game away from getting out of my pools, and then you took me aside and you talked me through, and you're like, dude, you're like, win or lose, just a game. Like just go out there, have fun.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, so he was there to coach you, huh?
He was.
I taught you. Yeah, you were like, damn, one more to make, and getting it out there. I feel like there's about 3 steps, and getting out of pools is like your first step. That's where you hit the nerves. Obviously, the beginning of tournament, your first match, you don't want to go 0-2. You're just like, I need one. I just need to win one. You get through that. Now it's make it out of pools, and then when you're one away from pools, you're nervous. And then after pools, when you're in the 9th place spot and it's one more to get top 8, that's when it's like. So there's
adrenaline pumping.
Yeah, so it's just like, God damn it. But that's cool. Yeah, I remember Evo was I knew this year was going to be better than last. This year, I feel we were more organized, more camaraderie. All of us were together, kind of just going back and forth. And we had that room, so we were all because last year it was Sheree and I were somewhere else. Dakota and Atlanta were somewhere with Guts the Pug and everyone. They still had a badass stream. You guys had the stream going on and stuff. Guts was sleeping. But this year I was like, this is awesome. The 7v7, everyone's here. We knew the meeting spot was our room, right? So it was it's a great time seeing everyone unite at Evo. And I feel this year went perfectly for all of us, kind of, with, the 7v7 and just always hanging and then coaching and just
Coaching.
everyone. I know, just freaking Michael.
Supporting each other. Yeah. I feel like this Evo in particular.
Supporting.
So everyone here made it out of pools, the ones that competed. You guys made it out of pools this year.
It was just a lot of us from NorCal that did.
Yes.
It was hype because then it was sick to go to day 2 and just have so many people be like, well, what time are your pools? I'm gonna be playing over here, what? And everybody's also so supportive that everybody's rushing to go watch each other.
It was hard. Yeah, because there's so many. It was hard. But yeah, fucking Evo was something else. That was,
I will say the first time. I think the first time going to Evo probably is when the nerves hit the most because it's not normal. This is a bigger atmosphere, I would feel. Like the first time when I went to Evo, I know that the waiting for your pool, like you said, that hour of waiting when you know it's coming up.
It's just that little like.
It's like, am I ready for this? I better go get a casual in. I gotta warm up.
Yeah.
And you start you don't want to overthink. I know from like when my first time I went up, I was like when I was there, like, losing my hands were shaking.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh, what the hell is new?
But you will all miss it when it's gone. Let me tell you, when my time in competing a lot and then COVID hit, dude, like it was scary feeling those nerves. But then I was away for it for years of like competing. And then I'm like, that really made me feel alive. Like, and I seen it even Sal Pacino, congrats. Like he made it out of pools this year. Cause we all know like last year, I was there before he had to play his match, he went 0-2.
Yeah.
And dude, the most nervous I've ever seen someone. We were walking, all of us walking. It felt like that slow motion in a movie where we're walking to go to the pools. And dude, Sal Pacino was just like, Michael, like, what do you do to deal with nerves? This and that. And I'm like, dude, it's all good. Like, I'm just giving him a little pep talk. You could tell he's like looking through me. Like his mind is racing too much where you're trying to talk to him, but his mind is still overbearing. And he's just like, and then later on I hear he went 0-2 and I'm just like, damn it. But he redeemed himself this year.
Yeah.
And that was amazing. I love Dakota's story about how he prepares, how you were like, you stood naked over Las Vegas and you looked over and you said, my biggest enemy is myself.
So just to touch on that briefly, right? I basically like for months at the esports arena, which apparently you attended as well. You had a good time at, right? Yeah. But while all my time at the esports arena, the entire time I got ready for Mortal Kombat 11, I pretty much went 0-2 every single week, right?
Wow.
For me to get a win, speaking of which, going back and looking through the old, victories and whatever, or going through the old brackets, one of my only wins ever in MK11 was over I'm Just Joshing. That was like one of like 3 times I ever won a single match at MK11 at the esports arena. That's wild to think back.
That's funny. Shout out to my boy, but that's hella funny.
Yeah, shout out to the homie, right? But so we're getting ready for Evo. I'm like, you know what? I'm making it to day 3. I have absolutely no reason to believe I'm making it to day 3. I was like, bro, I'm going to be like Michelangelo, dude. I'm going to be up on stage. When I come out, they're going to release the doves and the lasers and shit, dude. The lasers are going to be blinding the doves, and this is the song I want.
Manifest that thing, bro.
I was over here like, bro, they don't have the copyright to this shit, but I'm going to hijack their shit, and I'm just going to be like, just play this track. Just hand them the CD. Yeah. Don't ask no questions, whatever, right? And I basically made my outfits for every single fucking day. So I fly in, whatever. I fly in a day early. That was my first time ever being in Vegas. I walk the strip, whatever. And I go to bed at like 1. I'm up like full wide awake, staring at the ceiling at like 6 a.m. Mm-hmm. So I'm just like staring at, I'm just like naked, right? And just looking out the window of Mandalay Bay, just like staring at I'm looking down because I got one of the nice rooms. So I'm looking down the whole strip. But I'm butt ass naked, just staring at my fucking reflection the entire time, right?
Epic.
And I'm like, and this goes on probably for about an hour. Oh. And the person I'm with finally wakes the fuck up, and they're like, "What are you doing?" Yeah. And I'm just looking out, dude. I'm just looking at the city I'm about to take over, right?
My city.
Yeah, this is about to be my city, right? But in my head, it was exactly what I told you. I was like, the only person I can beat is the person that's staring back at me right now, because that's how I would flip out every time I would win a close set. I would get up to a mirror or get up to like a sliding glass door and just like breathing crazy hard into a reflection and be like, "That's right. You just beat the past version of yourself, right?"
Yeah. That
past version of yourself would have fucking failed, and you just came out on top.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I would just like, dude, I was going into it like there's no fucking, and then that was the only Evo I've ever competed in so far, and I went 5-2. So it was like, yeah, the first match, same thing. Like my adrenaline was so fucking high, dude. And it's just like, as soon as the match starts, I feel like I'm no longer in control, dude. Like, it just feels like I'm on a roller coaster, right? It's all instinct. And that's like my favorite place to be, where it's just like, dude, I don't even feel human anymore. I just feel like I'm the character.
Living in the moment.
Yeah, dude. And it's just like, you just feel one. It's pretty awesome, dude.
Yeah.
And yeah, granted, I lost the first match to a Garrus, right? I always lose to Garrus no matter what. But then after that, I went on a good little winning streak. And everybody was just like tripping out. They're like, you don't even look like you're happy. I was like, I don't even feel like the capacity to feel like happy right now. I just feel like this is what I'm doing. Yeah. I'm just moving through people, dude. I'm just
yeah. Exactly.
I have to say, like, you butt naked in front of a window looking out. It reminds me of the penthouse that I had on the 2023. And I'm laughing because I'm just like, man, because I was like in the penthouse by myself. Everybody leaves. I'm cleaning up, trying to be like, like a good, good,
respectful,
a respectful resident of the hotel. So that way the people that come in, they don't think I'm like we're some animals or something like that. So I get everything going, and I'm just looking around, and there's this almost like this two rooms penthouse, and I look out the window, and I'm like, I wonder how many rich assholes just were in here, butt ass naked, looking out into the pool, trying to be like, yeah, that's right, oh you peasants. Look, I'm at the top of this building, looking down at you, butt ass naked.
Yeah,
dude, I'd be on the second floor. I'd still be doing that shit, dude.
You're like staring into the parking lot.
Crackheads looking like, whoa, awesome.
I didn't know they make him that big.
Yeah. Good Lord. What is he here for? Mortal Kombat? Yeah. I'm not playing that. Shit.
He's just staring you down as you walk by. He's like, yeah,
Yeah. Damn.
Say, I want the drugs that he's on.
So Sly, something what's cool that I've always noticed is the t-shirts.
Oh yeah.
What's the theme for those? Obviously, people have seen you on the stream so much, and you're wearing the Ariana Grande and a bunch of others. Like, what is that? What's going on? Let the people know now, the ones that wonder.
Well, I consider myself a big pop girl. So like, yeah, I like. It all started with Ariana Grande, and it all started because one of my best friends is like super into her, and like he has a bunch of like concert like shirts from her.
So he as well.
Yeah,
I thought one of your best friends is a girl, but him too.
Yeah, yeah. He's not as much as a pop girl that I am, but
yeah, he's weak.
But then I was going through my situationship when Ariana Grande released "Thank You Next," and it just really like struck a chord. Then I just started moving backwards through her music, and then that's kind of how I got into pop music, and then it just kind of has like consumed me. And to me, it's like the best kind of music. I understand it's subjective, but I love Ariana Grande. It's my vibe. Yeah, and I like Olivia Rodrigo's one of my favorites. Sabrina Carpenter, Billie Eilish, like all of the.
He was gonna say that name. I had a feeling he was gonna say Sabrina Carpenter.
Oh, she's super hot right now.
Really? Yeah.
So I don't know. I just like being a pop girl, and I just like all the music just kind of like it just makes me feel good. I like to dance my way to work and sing my heart out.
I get it.
Yeah,
like those old like 70s like guys walking to work.
So I told myself that I was going to do a little bit of research on these artists, right, so we could talk about them. I have not had an opportunity to listen to any of these tracks, and two of those names I never even dude. I even got the playlist from DJ Norb today, dude, and I was like, bro, what did or was it Straker Man? It might have been one or the other.
It was probably Straker Man.
Yeah, I was like, bro, send me over the playlist.
That's like my favorite.
I need to get in his head, dude. I need to see like where fucking Slycoco's head is at, dude.
I don't know. Like I said, it's just it's just pop music, so it's just it's obviously it's uplifting. It's obviously very popular, so it's like
type music.
Yeah, like I like going on Twitter, I like going on Discord and just like talking about this stuff. And to me, this is a very like mindless like hobby, I guess, if that makes any sense. Like it's not like Street Fighter. I'm like, oh, well, now I got to grind this out, or it's not like work where I'm like, oh, I got to work on all these things. I'm like, I just whatever comes out, I just let it happen. I like going to concerts a lot. So yeah, just like stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
I like it. That's awesome. Because some people, I think everyone has a guilty pleasure, maybe artist or song or something. I know I do, but like you wear it on your shoulder. Yeah. Because I swear, when I first met you, if you were to ask me guess what music you like, I would say like Slipknot, Pantera, like I don't know, some like heavy metal or something, right?
Funny enough, the other genre that I love like a lot, and I know a lot about is like 90s hip hop. Not even just 90s, but just like classic hip hop. Maybe not so much modern. Maybe like stopping like 2010ish and on. but like 90s hip hop, 80s hip hop, where hip hop started.
Oh, the
like
hyphy
all like
movement.
yeah, well yeah, I was like there for that.
Yeah.
But like 90s old school hip hop, like Wu-Tang, Tribe Called Quest.
Okay.
And like just a whole bunch of other stuff that like I could like.
Yeah.
That's like my shit. That's like my shit. Like that's like whenever I'm going through a hard time, and this is how you know I'm probably going through a really hard time. If you look at what I'm listening to, and it's been like hip hop, like old school hip hop for like days straight, that's usually when I'm going through, because that's like my comfort music. 'Cause that's what I grew up on, and like you know, like my uncle and my aunts like showed me that. So to me, that's like a comfort place of like brings me back to being a kid. It's just really comfortable for me, even though it's like hella gangster ass, like
reminiscing.
yeah. So like if you guys just hear me listen to like 90s hip hop like continuously, you should probably ask me what's wrong.
I see.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah, I mean it's not all the time, but you guys get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you could place like in a ranking, I guess like not least favorite, but I would think all these are your favorite, but like from like least favorite to the best, where would you place like music, entertainment, like movies and shows, and like video games?
So I'm actually not a movies or show guy.
Oh, not
Yeah,
at all?
yeah. At some point I watched a lot of anime, but like ever since Street Fighter 6 has come out, that's like consumed me.
Okay.
So it's like even like if I'm at home, I'm practicing. But if I'm not at home, then I'm typically at a tournament or at an event or like, you know, doing something that's like Street Fighter related or fighting game related. So video games is pretty big. Like video games has always been very consistent in my life. So is music. So those two are kind of go hand in hand. Like I took Monday off, and like I put on Ariana Grande, put on Street Fighter, and that was like one of like I loved it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like a really good day for me. Where I'm not being bothered, and I could just like chill out and just like, you know, listen to my music, play my games,
You're
and
just
then-
vibing.
yeah, I'm just vibing. That's like peak for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
Wow. Okay. So for sure, shows and movies last, and then music, and then games.
Music and games is hard.
It's hard.
because you know.
Depends on the day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It depends on the day, because I guess one hard thing too is like music. While I share the passion with like friends, I still feel like it's kind of my thing. Like, you know, like I would assume most people when they think of Ariana Grande, if you're my friend, you most likely think about me. Versus like I feel like video games, it's a very social thing for me. So and that's also my way of like bonding with my friends. So like I have a friend down in SoCal who I talk with a lot, and we play a lot of Overwatch together. One of my best friends like moved out to Sacramento, so I don't get to see him as often, but like we bond through video games, and you know, just it's like stuff like that. So yeah, so to me, video games, and also, you know, all this fighting game stuff, it's like I'm coming to tournaments, like I'm coming to be a part of the community. So video games to me is a very social aspect, versus music, I'm kind of like, this is like mine. You know, I listen to it while I drive to work. I put it on while I got like, you know, while I'm doing chores around the house or whatever. So yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. So why Street Fighter? Like what? Like fighting games in general? Like why'd you choose it?
Well, I grew up on Street Fighter 2. So I had that. I had it on Super Nintendo. So that I have like really early memories of playing Street Fighter 2. My family is very competitive. So I'm an only child, but I grew up with like cousins and my uncle, and like they were all very competitive. So like, and then when I met my core group of friends in middle school, who I'm still all friends with now, same thing. Where like that, but that was the time where like Marvel 2 was out, CVS 2 was out. Like so we were playing a lot of that. So like fighting games has always been a huge part of my life, even to the point where I got a Phoenix tattoo. I got a Phoenix tattoo, but only because I love playing her so much in Ultimate Marvel. Yeah. So, but then my tattoos represent different things in my life, but the Phoenix represents me. But only for like the implications of, you know, rising from the ashes.
Yeah.
But also because it also represents my super nerdy side of like loving video games and loving.
It's a double because Phoenix. A lot of people get a Phoenix tattoo because they're reborn and stuff.
Yeah.
You got it because of that, but also you got it Phoenix from Marvel vs. Capcom or X-Men.
Yeah.
So you represent both things in one tattoo.
Yes. Yeah. But yeah. So yeah, fighting games has always been a constant in my life. But like, you put Mario Kart in front of me, like I'm still gonna be sweaty. You know what I mean? And I'm still going to win.
I know you're FIFA. You're like a killer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I play a lot of FIFA. I used to, at least. I haven't even gotten the new one. But same thing where like I just don't want anything to take my time away from like Street Fighter.
Right.
And even then I barely play. Like I feel like I should play more.
Damn.
But, yeah.
Speaking of, I don't think they call it FIFA anymore.
No, it's
Yeah.
EA Sports
It's
FC,
a
whatever.
FC, yeah.
Yeah, but don't I'll still smoke you in any type of soccer
Yeah.
game. So
I could tell you were serious when you were at a MADHouse.
I
Yeah.
would love to play you in a soccer game.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
whenever you
Yeah,
want it.
Let me know.
Yeah. when you were upstairs at MADHouse and you were talking to our friend Sean, which is considered probably the best there, and like the moment you started talking about it, I was like, oh, Slycoco. Because like all of us, we see you guys at MADHouse, we just know really Street Fighter. So when you see someone like you like talking about something else like FIFA or whatever, it's just like, whoa, like a new thing just unlocked. I'm like, wait, Slycoco plays FIFA.
Yeah.
That's something right there. Like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And I could tell how like Sean, I feel like, was testing you on knowledge. He was like, oh, like what team do you play? This, and you would be like, boom, boom, boom. And he's like, oh, like you really know. And
Yeah.
you're just like, yeah, man. And you would not back down. Some people would be like, oh, like, and I already could tell when you're confident in a game, you're good because Street Fighter 6, you're really good. So the way you were talking about FIFA, you were like, no. Like I play this. I was like, oh shit. Like he gets down.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
all right.
Unfortunately, the only other constant game than Street Fighter has been FIFA for me. At least in the past, since I turned 20, one of my friends was like really, really into it. And then he used to talk a lot of shit. So my goal was like, I'm going to fucking beat this guy at his own game. Because at the time I was playing a lot of like 2K. And I felt like I was like I felt like I was like one of the better of my friends in 2K. But nobody would want to play 2K with me. So I was like, all right, well, let me play your game and then let me beat you at it. Which is funny now because now like we only play FIFA like on a team, which is like also like my favorite way to play.
Yeah.
But then that also got me into the road of like watching soccer for years.
So the game got you to watch soccer?
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So you weren't like a soccer fan, a real life soccer fan, and then you were like, well, let me play the game. You were a gamer that liked the game and then became a soccer fan?
Yeah. I was like super into NBA and like I said, playing 2K. But since none of my friends wanted to play that with me, I was like forced to play FIFA. But then I was trying to figure out how to get good at FIFA. So I was like, well, let me watch real soccer. And I don't even know if it applies, to be honest. And then, so also my friends who play FIFA, like they like to watch a lot of soccer. So it just became like a thing. Like Saturday mornings, we're waking up, we're going to whatever the nearest pub or bar to go watch our games and have our drinks and then, go play FIFA for hours.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah. And then, like I said, that started when I was like 19, 20. So for the past like 10, plus 10 years.
Yeah. So now you're in it.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny. I actually started playing NBA 2K9 with friends like on game battles. I don't know if you've ever heard of that.
Mm-mm.
So it was kind of like you and your friends would all pick a position, and you'd be like 4v4, no top 10 teams. So then you would pick like, okay, so nobody whose overall is over 10, and like that type of stuff was like going on during your time, saying you didn't have any friends to play with. I'm like, man, I should have known you sooner. You can't be playing with us.
Yeah, I mean, we always pick like top tier teams, but yeah. But like I said, I haven't even bought the new FIFA. FIFA's kind of slowly exiting my life, as well as most sports for whatever reason. But it's like I said, same thing. Like nights where I would be watching basketball or whatever, football. Like, I'm at tournaments now, and I'm socializing, and
it's good right now. I think you're at that phase where you're gonna let go of a lot of and make sacrifices to like a lot of games and stuff because you're in Street Fighter right now. You're in a mode where you know how to be good and be great, and now you want that, and you know what it takes for the sacrifice. What are your goals with first, like what are some of your achievements like that you can say like how well have you done at a MADHouse, and how well have you done like before we knew you? Like and stuff. Like, did you ever win like GameStop tournament, Game Crazy back in the day and stuff? Like, what's some of your most like where you're like, dude, I beat that guy?
So I appreciate people calling me good in Street Fighter 6, but like prior to this, I was like bad. Like same thing where I was going. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Same thing where I was going to ESA Oakland a lot.
Yeah.
I'm talking about 0-2.
Yeah.
Like every week, like week after week after week for like what felt like a year or two. But yeah, those are Street Fighter 5 days. And then Street Fighter 6 came out. I guess I got kind of good where I could at least win games. Like one of my better placements have like been like the 5th places at like King's Cup. I remember like one time I came 3rd in Cartridge Cartel. The only tournament I've quote unquote won was like a really small round robin at the Smash the Galaxy in Dublin, but that was like 6 people there. But like, I guess goals. I have a hit list. I don't know if I necessarily have a goal. Obviously, winning a tournament would be sick.
Yeah.
But like, I have a hit list of like players that I want to beat.
Okay.
And it's pretty long because I lose to like a lot of players in our community. But as far as I guess those are like goals as a competitor. But then like, I don't know. I really have enjoyed being a commentator, and like, I now I'm like, damn, I kind of want to do bigger events or just keep consistently, showing up and, hopefully providing value, while doing commentary.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I guess just keep. I don't know. I don't know how to put this. I'm not necessarily like keen on like getting big or like blowing up or like being really seen, but like I just hope that I could just provide consistent value.
Yeah.
Entertainment.
Yeah, while doing commentary, and I just hope I'm always accepted. If I would, like to get on the mic, and kind of outside of you guys, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like doing doing something like Genesis Black would have been sick for me. And I didn't get the, obviously, like it's not a big deal, but like I think doing an event like that would be like pretty sick. But I kind of trust in my time's coming, I guess.
Yeah. Dude, you're fresh. It feels like just yesterday we first got you on the mic. So
Yeah.
You're fresh. You have, I think, a big highlight reel now of playing and commentating. So it's really about making a little montage and putting it out there for people. And you'll see it's easier than you would expect if you just make the effort to be like, hey, like find out what tournament's happening and then email them and be like, look, here's a little video about me, right? They like to see now more than you just say or whatever. And as long as they see like, oh, this guy's done it for a little while, they could hit you up and everything. That's all it really is. But yeah, freaking, I remember when there was a Slycoco, for a moment, you were like getting top 8 at King's Cup and stuff. Like I think you were still Manon too. You might have been Luke.
I've come 5th twice. Once with Manon and once with Luke.
Yes.
Yeah. So now that I'm playing a new character, that's like that's actually a goal of mine. I don't know if I'll do it this Friday, but it's something I actually thought about, and I was like, damn, it would be kind of sick. Not only break fifth place, but to do it with like multiple characters.
Yeah.
So I think that'd be cool.
What actually is kind of funny is that my first time actually seeing you, Sly, was actually your first day commentating for King's Cup, which was actually really funny because
wow, that was your first day too.
I wasn't there. Oh,
you've seen him on stream.
I was watching the stream, and I have to say, you gave off like that professional like commentator look. Like you knew what you were talking about. And I was like, oh man, that guy's pretty cool. And like, my planter was pretty cool too.
Yeah.
I hope I actually get to meet these guys. And then
whoa, you're below. Wait, no, I thought I met you before that.
No, you met me. No, so actually no.
I know we met at the band hall.
So I met you at I didn't meet you at band hall. I met you at YouthNet.
YouthNet, you're right. Yes,
so
you're right.
It went like this. I met you at YouthNet, but we didn't really talk much.
Yeah.
It was at band hall you and I talked.
We started moaning at each other. I called you Moaner at first. That was the first nickname I gave Michael. I said, hey, you're Moaner.
I don't know. I don't know if that's legit. We might have to go check the logs for that one.
I swear on my phone, I have you as Fist of Fury, parentheses, Moaner.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like it was just something we did in the beginning.
I guess
don't know.
But no, so I remember I met you that way, and I gave you the Fonzie name. I was kind of like a tanned up Fonzie over here. And so then it was funny that I went to King's Cup the next time that they had it.
Yeah.
And I saw Slycoco. I was like, oh man, I'm gonna go say hi and say, man, I really liked his commentary.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, you and I have been friends ever since.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I remember the first time I think I met you was it was a MADHouse event like on a Saturday right before Evo, like the weekend right before Evo, and then that's when I saw you at Evo.
Yeah. You were, and I already said on my podcast, you were there when I was getting out of pools, and
I remember
you helped a brother out, of course, and motivated me.
Of course, brother.
Appreciate you.
Of course.
And you've been there for both of them. Mm-hmm. More than one person in this room.
This year in particular, because I knew how much it meant to you last year. I wanted to be there this year.
Oh, dude, it like you have no idea. Like the support you gave me, I think that if you weren't there, I probably would have drowned.
That's probably not true.
No,
but
honestly, because I was in my fucking head. Like after the Cammy player, I was in my goddamn head. But then this guy comes over, bro. That's what I'm talking about. I'm like, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It just got me out. I was just like, yeah.
And I remember because you got out of pools in your most classic Fist of Fury way ever. You were waiting for the fucking jump in, and sure enough, he jumped. Level 1 comes out, and I was like, damn. I was like, this guy got those. Yeah, that was pretty sick.
And you know what the funny thing is I never said this at my podcast.
Yeah. And
I don't know if you were there, Sly. I think you were out hanging out with somebody else. I was playing a Guile player, and this Guile player was playing way too patiently with me. And I was just like, just like matching Hadoukas with the sonic booms, and then I would get in with my low mid. And there were times I was quickly burning myself out, and I was burnt out. And he would keep trying to jump in on me. Level 1 every time, right? And it was to the point that when I beat him, it was 1-2, I won, and his boy in the back is popping off, talking shit about me. You let him get like that? This guy's garbage. And I'm over here, and I don't know. I think Atlanta caught me like doing the picture of me doing this, like what was that? Like that, like yeah. And I swear, I wanted to turn around and be like, why don't you sit your ass down and I'll body you too? You talk a lot. I don't see you over here. Yeah. To this day, I was kind of like, man, Mike, you should have just done it. Just call him out. He's right behind you, making his voice like known. Just tell him, sit down, take it first to 2.
Yeah.
But no, I was too nice.
I don't know how it's possible, dude. Like you're a bigger guy even than me, right? And generally speaking, I always have people tell me the reason Dakota people don't talk shit to you is because they don't want to antagonize you. They don't want to see you get angry. What is it about you that people are like, no, fuck this motherfucker?
I don't
dude.
know, dude. I don't know. Dude, after I beat the guy, he was like, oh, good game. Like that. I'm like, hey, good game, dude. I wasn't rude or anything like that. And his boys in the back just popping off. He shouldn't have lost that game. He was burning himself out. You just kept jumping in.
Yeah.
I'm just like, geez, man, way to motivate your friend. Shit.
So Sly, I have to ask, I've seen you in a very similar state, after a loss or anything like that, where you're feeling some type of way. Where do you think that competitive nature comes from? Have you always been like that since the Mario Kart days, like you were mentioning before? What is it about a competition that, really drives you?
Yeah. So like we were talking about earlier, like the only time I get really nervous during a match, like before the match, I'm totally cool. I'm like waiting for my name to call up. I sit down and I'm like, man, fuck this guy next to me. Like, even if it's my friend, I'm like, dude, fuck this guy. He's the ops. Like, I'm about to fucking body this guy. But then if I go down like a game, or if it's like game 3, like last round, and I get hit with like a big combo, that's when I get nervous. But it's the idea of losing that makes me nervous. And that's when my hands start getting shaky. That's when I'm like, dude, this is all gonna fall apart. What if I really suck at this? Like, but it's crazy because like I should be focusing on the match instead I'm focusing on the loss. But that drive just comes, like I said, from like childhood of just like growing up with like super competitive cousins, uncle, like, and then going into my friend group, we're all super competitive with each other. Like, and granted, obviously it's toned down. We're all adults now, but like, yeah, I still hone a lot of that in me. So I do enjoy being in a space where I could be that. And then also it's like, I'm very passionate about the shit and I work hard at it. So like, the idea of like losing and then, the whole like self-doubt thing. And I know it's just like insecurity things, but like the whole like self-doubt of being like, man, fuck, like I practiced all week for this and I'm going 1-2, like, fuck, like, like that stuff like really upsets me. But I remember we did one at, it was like a Saturday event, I think Retro Edge. Mm-hmm. And then
a Retrofix.
Yeah, Retrofix. And then I got it after a loss. And it's always matches where I feel like I shouldn't lose. And that's my ego talking. So when I sit down to play and I'm like, I typically don't lose to them, or I feel like I'm better than them. Those are the ones that like really upset me. But like, I remember you asked me, you were like, what's wrong? And I was like, dude, I'm fucking salty. And you were just like, good.
I have one important question for you. Huh? Who are you picking in Mario Kart?
Oh, well, Luigi's always my Mario main. I guess it depends on the Mario Kart. But like Mario Kart 8, I don't know. I kind of like being whoever. At this point, I love all the Mario characters, but typically I'm a Luigi main. So like Mario Party, Super Mario World. Like any chance I could be Luigi, I'm typically Luigi.
Mario Party, the friendship ruining.
Oh yeah.
All
No,
time.
I've like fought my cousins
Dude,
over being like
swear,
Luigi. Yeah.
I swear I have never played a game where everyone in my family is cussing each other out by saying, "Why didn't you go for them? They have more stars."
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, no, because you fucking pissed me off in that last mini game. You're the one that got rid of me first. I'm coming for you. And then it's just this whole circle. Then your one cousin that's over there just getting all the coins gets to the booth. He starts stealing everybody else's stars. It's just the biggest FU game ever created is Mario Party. It's like nobody's on each other's team. Even if like you do the team game, it's just like we're allies. For now.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I've only played that game twice, but the first time I ever played, I won, dude. And I won in a very dominating fashion.
Wow.
You know what? I think we need to go to Cartridge Cartel and tell John we need to hook up the freaking N64. I think this man needs to know what it's like to have pure, unadulterated rage go through his body.
I mean, then I could live out the actual thing that I described. So when I played the very first time I played Mario Party or whatever it was, I won the first set. I got the star. Randomly, a star drops from the sky right next to me. I get it, and then I win the second. So super early on in the game, I'm sitting here with 3 stars. So all the friends that I'm with, there's a bunch of us, and there's some people that are not playing because it's like 4-player or whatever it is. So I hand my credit card to one of them, and I tell them, hey, so I need you to go to the store. Need you to go get a bag of ice. I need you to go get one of those large Gatorade buckets, and I need you to get the lemon lime Gatorade.
Oh God!
I need you to go.
That's a lot of instructions.
And then when you guys come back, I need you to pour it all full of water, pour the ice in, take the lemon lime Gatorade, mix it in, and by the time you are guys all back and you're done, you mix it all up. I'll get my 4-star, and I need you guys to dump the Gatorade on me.
Oh God!
And they were like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Right? Like as I'm like holding my credit card out in front of me, right?
That's the biggest shit talk I've ever heard in my life. This guy's already getting his Super Bowl celebration ready. So,
if we do play, dude, and there's a Gatorade bucket in the corner, don't be surprised.
Bro, it ain't gonna be for you. I'm gonna tell you this, man. I play spitefully in that game. I don't care. You mess with me, I'm coming for you first, and then everybody else can get it.
Here we go. Prime time.
Damn, I remember one Mario Kart back in like 98. I was playing Super Nintendo Mario Kart. I was 9, 10. And my uncle and his friends, they're 18, 19, 20. They couldn't beat me. So they're like, let's press start right before we finish and he gets first. And we'd say, hey, you didn't win. So, so they were being jerks, and I was almost going to win. So they seen that it was getting to me and I was building rage inside of me. And I just grabbed the Super Nintendo controller and I look back because my uncle was the mastermind. He's the one that told him to do it. And I throw it at him. Boom. And luckily the controller lodges. And I had great aim because the controller right to his face. But the Super Nintendo cord, it held it back.
Saved him.
And boom. And he went, holy shit. And I stormed off crying. And what's hella funny, I remember I'm 9 or 10. He felt bad at. He understood what he did. He had his little fun. He understood what he did. And he's like, hey, let's go to the movies. You know what movie we went to go see? Booty Call with Jamie Foxx. We went to go see hella random, but I loved the movie. I'm only 9 or 10 though.
Yeah.
And you know how raunchy that movie kind of is. But it was a fun, great movie. But that's what I remember about Mario Kart. At least, a crazy thing that happened where I did feel bad and I was raging and my uncle did it all. But on the record, I am still I cannot find someone that can beat me at Double Dash.
You're crazy. Well, you're sitting right next to one. So
this is where competitive trash talking starts.
Let me tell you, Double Dash. I don't think anyone can beat me.
I've never played Double Dash.
You never played Double Dash?
I've heard that it is probably the best Mario Kart.
It's
game.
one of the best.
It's one of the best.
They say N6. The Mario Kart 64 is up there.
Yeah.
Super Nintendo still holds up. And then the Wii version people say is really good. I don't think there is a bad Mario Kart game.
There's not a bad one, but just Double Dash is so high. It's great. It's 2 characters.
2 characters on a
switch them
cart.
out and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's tried to be tested. We were in a warehouse full of gamers, and Slayer was like, I can beat you at Double Dash. And it was just a week-long thing. Someone eventually, there was a GameCube Double Dash. Probably two levels in, he drops the controller. He's like, yeah, I'm not beating you. It was just, it was just too, and hey,
Just do all the shortcuts.
yeah, it's one of those games that I'm so confident winning at that it's a win-win if I lose, because I will find someone that's better and I'm like, wow, I thought you were a myth. But you did it. Holy shit. Like,
you do exist.
The only person that sees how far Double Dash can go is me. If someone can show me better than what I can do in Double Dash, like times and how fast you can go, I'd be like, oh, this is Double Dash. Okay. Like, thank you for dropping the knowledge.
I think that's
Double
a lot
Dash.
that's a fighting game competitor's mentality.
Yeah. I think it's great. I think being gamers, all of us, I think eventually, if you're really good at a game, you will go to fighting games because they're so complex. You can't just like a shooter grab it and shoot. Like, that's where your practice is playing. With fighting games, you have to lab, you have to understand frame data, like all this stuff where it's more complex, where eventually it's like, whoa, I think fighting games is the hardest form of learning a game. Is like, damn, because then you play another. Now, fighting games kind of ruined the fun of playing AI in a game. Like,
Yeah.
because we learned how to manipulate the AI, where we're like, if I keep doing this move, they'll keep doing that. And now you have an easy, boring game where you just figured out a loop or something. And it just doesn't feel so rewarding to beat an AI. We got so used to like humans, right? And it's like, yeah, I made this guy salty. Computers aren't getting salty. So it's kind of like but I still have my fun with single player games. But it's just something about
arcade Street Fighter to this day still gives me issues.
Yeah,
because it has that. Because in the motherboard it has like that little cheat thing that it gives the character you're facing, like E Honda will like you'll go for a straight like a light punch, and it'll go through and it'll let him grab you.
It like knows what you're gonna do.
Yeah, it's like something to do with the programming, so that way it forces the difficulty not just to go up, but the computer to cheat a little bit, so that way it gets more quarters out of you.
Unruly, he came to San Jose and we met up at Mini Boss, and dude, he showed me Mortal Kombat 3 how to actually play, where he's like, look, all you do is a move, like say you're doing, jumping kick, do jumping kick, but then do like back punch, scorpion spear or whatever. The computer will read, they know what you're doing input wise. So now the computer thinks you're doing the spear when you're still in the air doing the kick. And you could basically manipulate the game to be like doing a move, but then doing a move while that move is happening, where the computer thinks, wait, you're not doing jump and kick, you're doing the spear. No, but you're really not. And now he got hit. Like, Unruly showed me that. I'm like, holy shit. Like, and I'm like, how did you learn this? And he's like, YouTube wasn't even around. I was just a kid, and I realized by just playing. I'm like, holy shit. Like, this is some wild, crazy,
that is crazy.
To like know that stuff, it's pretty insane. But yeah, old school arcades and everything is awesome. So what I wanted to touch on, what pops out, at least to me, with you is like, besides the Ariana Grande and all that stuff, is like the amount of love you get. I think MADHouse and like we have a camaraderie, but there is not a soul that like thinks ill will of you. And I'm not saying anyone thinks ill will of us, but even like there's a crazy amount of people that always like when I mention you, it's like, when I mention one of you guys, it's like, it's just like a regular talk. We're like, yeah, oh yeah. When it's you, there's a certain like lit up, and I could tell you from my experience with you, like I have a hard time telling people I love you and stuff. And I wrote down actually in my life before I die, I'll regret when I'm on my deathbed. One thing I should have said, I love you more to people. And with you, anytime I see you, and we've had talks where like you help me kind of easily say I love you. And it's weird, like in a good way, where I'm just like, oh, Slycoco, we're about to take a car ride back to San Jose. I already can feel there's gonna be some deep talks, and it's good talks. Like it's like talks where I'm like, damn, like this might get emotional, and it helps me break me down. It's something you remind me of when I used to do shrooms.
This took a turn.
It took a turn.
Took a turn.
I used to use.
It's got sentimental for a second. I was like, wow, this is really heartfelt.
This is it's
then
up and
drugs got
down.
involved.
It's up and down. I swear, because I used to use shrooms to break my walls down, to break my to break my ego, because I have an ego, and sometimes I listen to my ego where it's not going to help me better myself, and I stopped doing that kind of stuff, but I used it as therapy, and then you kind of brought it back where it's like you make me kind of break down my ego and break down my walls, and we've had like more than one moment where at the end of our conversations, it's kind of like, dude, I fucking love you, man. And it's just like a good time. What made you like that? What made you like that kind of open? And I love it because it reminds me of me, not in a certain way, but like you have to announce everything you feel. The announcing of I'm kind of nervous right now.
Yeah.
But you say it.
Yeah.
I know people that don't say it. And you kind of just project. And I love that you have to say I'm drunk. You have to say I'm nervous. Like you have to say I love you. Like what made you
He
this way?
speaks freely, basically.
Yeah. What do you credit that to?
I don't know. That's a good question. I think honestly, I think of like me and my friends. So like my friend, like I've had like basically the same friend group when I was like in middle school, and people have come and gone. But like for the most part, like I can call up like any one of my friends, be like, hey man, I just want to call you and tell you I love you, and it'll be like reciprocated back. So I think I've been privileged to just have a lot of like that in my life. I think I'm privileged to be really loved. So I always want to make sure that I show it back. But on top of that, like coming here and like doing this with you guys, like I genuinely love this shit. And I wouldn't be up till like 4 a.m. with you guys if I didn't like genuinely love not only spending time with you guys, but being a part of this, like, or just being a part of like whatever's going on. And I try to do that with as much of the community that I can. So like, I try to show up to as many events as I can. I just want to be like a part of it. And I don't know, all of it comes from a real genuine place. So as long as you guys are okay with me telling you that I love you, then, I hope you understand it comes from like a real deep place. And, I hope, I don't know. I hope you feel it. You know what I mean? And cause honestly, that's the way I feel. And you guys make me feel loved. And I just want to show it back, and I want to give it back. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I come from a real loving place already. Like my friends, my family. But then I also have seen, and I guess this is mostly through family. Like I've seen the machismo side and like the not showing the feeling side. And to me, that I don't know. I could just never get with that, and I just don't think stuff like that, like is important, I guess. I don't know. Like, I don't know how to really put it, but like, I don't think that's a real way to live life. And I think, we have only so much time on this earth. Let's love each other while we're here, and let's make the most of it, so.
Live an expressive life.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I say it, people say it back. It makes, I hope it makes you feel good. It makes me feel good. And, I just want to let everybody know that I love them. And, it comes from a real place. So.
That is definitely an admirable thing to be emotionally vulnerable, right? And like Michael said, when you are in that state, it definitely helps people. It enables them to also be emotionally vulnerable. It's also funny that you mentioned the exact same thing. Like when you were at my house, you were like, "Bro, dude, I understand, dude. You grew up in this machismo household, and I know exactly how you are." So it's very difficult, especially coming from like a Latino background. It's kind of cool to see you have that ability, and then again, for you to give that ability to other people, right, that make people feel comfortable. And then I just I hope everybody's comfortable around me. Can I tell you guys something?
Yeah,
of course.
So I feel kind of stupid about this now, but like on Sunday, like I got pretty drunk, but like towards the end of the night, I was spending a lot of time with like low key flexing, and obviously like I love him, and I super appreciate him and his family, and but dude, Monday when I woke up, I was so worried, I was like being like nervous. I mean, I was so worried that I was being like annoying, and I was like, man, I was probably being drunk and overbearing. I haven't really talked to him about it, but then I also didn't realize later that night he like sent me like, oh, like hope you got home safely. Like little like nice message, and I have to take things like that and be like, okay, well he's probably not upset with me unless he is. I don't know, he's gonna watch this, but I do have a lot of moments like that too, but that usually comes like after drinking, and then also just kind of like
Self-conscious.
being self-conscious, and
Well, I can't say I've dealt with you when you're drunk, but I've been around you when you've had your fair share of alcoholic beverages, and I've never never felt you were overbearing or annoying or like just over talkative. I always say, you were always still the same loving Slycoco, just a lot more smiling. And,
yeah,
you're just having a good time.
That period, I was like, dude, let's get a microphone in this guy's hand now, dude. Let's shoot the podcast. I'll go to the house. I'll bring all the equipment to Guild House. We'll just get in this corner. We'll shoot this right now. And you're like, no.
Yeah. I just don't want that to be the image of me.
He said he was down for it. He said he was down. He's just like, let me see how I feel after my second beer. That's what he said. And then after that, he was like, no.
Talking about this now, I wish, like, preparing for all this, one of us went to 7-Eleven and we had like a pack here. And I know you're saying you don't want that to be portrayed as you, but it'd be kind of cool to see like the Slycoco change from like, 20 minutes in to 50 minutes in, and because you're awesome. You're awesome when you're drunk.
Oh, thank you.
But you're awesome when you're regular.
Yeah.
But
when
you're sober.
When you're sober.
The word is sober, folks. Let me know.
When you're sober.
There is a word for not being drunk.
Regular. When you're not a werewolf. But yeah, like, you're awesome both ways. And
thank you.
You do have a concern, like you were talking about low-key flexing right now, how I hope this is, and you've done that where you're like, man, like, I hope I'm not being too overbearing or like, too just like too much and stuff. But me, at least coming from me, like, dude, I like when someone's real and honest, and like if you have to be like, I've had friends where they're like over me and they're just like, I love you so much, and I'm just like, yeah, and they're like, let me talk, like, and they just have to say everything, and I love it. I'm just like, yeah, like, reveal everything, and it's awesome, because I've also had friends that are like, they just kind of want to start shit with people, and not with me, but maybe just like, I've been out and they want to kind of start shit, like. And I'm just like, fuck, am I going to have to be in this too or what? And I guess you kind of see someone when they get drunk, like how they really feel, or maybe they're going through something. But with you, it's like, I was a happy drunk when I would do it, when I was drinking and stuff. And I knew when I was drinking and like back in the day, internally, I was always happy. I know I was happy. So it would just show, and people were just like, I never got a complaint when I was drinking. Like, they're like, damn. And I know you have to kind of ask people like, I'm sorry, and just know that low-key flexing, he's a nice guy. He also will let me know things that I did not know he would let me know. Like, I just thought he was just nice and he would deal with everyone, but he's let me know, and I'm not going to name names, but he has let me know where he's like, man, like, I can't handle this guy.
Yeah.
I already know.
Yeah.
Me at the very beginning, dude.
Yeah. He likes messing with you though.
Now he does. Before he was like, he was probably saying like, what the fuck is this guy's problem, yo? Because I was coming off hella strong. That was a big thing in the beginning.
I cannot, and I hope, I'm going to do my best. I want to be here for Low Key Flexing's podcast.
Yeah.
Because I have something to say to him.
Okay.
It's something that, it's something that it's the first time that I actually played Low Key Flexing.
Yeah.
And I'll say the story for that podcast, but trust me, it's very funny.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to share it.
Yeah. He's an awesome dude. And just know, like, if he actually does like he likes you. When he mentions you, when he talks about you, he's like, yeah, it's like, Loki has a little thing where like his tick is like, when he really agrees with you with something, he really nods his head.
Yeah.
It's almost his whole body.
Yeah.
He's like,
he also gives you this like look.
yeah.
He smiles, his eyes light up, and
Yeah.
like that.
So,
No, freaking Aaron's awesome, and it's always fun to talk to him. And like, okay, at freaking, he actually did this thing. I was complaining about the monitor over at Genesis Black.
Yeah.
I'm telling, I was like, this fucking monitor, it's got a delay. There's no way I'm dropping the same combo I've been doing for years with Ken. There's no way, even if I've been playing Terry. And he literally went to that monitor, got two of his fight sticks out, the one that checks for delay, and he's like, yep, right there, you see?
Yeah.
The yellow's faster
I
than
remember
this.
he was
It is a
talking
delay.
about it.
I was like, man. And he was even on the Discord, Fist of Fury, you were right. I'm just like, thanks, Aaron. I knew I was right. fuck that monitor.
Man, I wish I would have known you were. So this is a bad habit. And this is for everybody. If anybody ever tells me they're like worried about something, I'm gonna try to stoke the flames as much as possible.
Oh,
right?
Jesus.
Well, I even talked to you a little bit about like my insecurities at Genesis Black.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And what did I tell you?
you told me just to chill out.
Well, I so specifically what I said was, I said a couple things to say, hey, well, what if it's this way? What if it's A? What if it's door B, right? And you were just like, well, I'm pretty confident it's door A and not door B. And I was like, well, if you're pretty confident, then why are you asking me, right?
Yeah.
I was basically presenting you with both options
Reverse
to say,
psychology.
I was like, hey, man, I'm giving you the opportunity to be confident within yourself, right?
Yeah. I guess I think I was looking for reassurance in the moment, but you gave it in your own Dakota way.
I always like to try to let people give themselves their own reassurance, right? Because like whenever I make a decision, then it's not necessarily because I'm trying to be arrogant or necessarily overconfident, but it's like I always have like a goal or a plan that I have set in my mind, and I'm like, I'm gonna follow through with it, right? I'm gonna see it through, or whatever happens, right? In a lot of cases, so. Like if you were sitting there being like, yeah, I think X, Y, and Z, then you got to be like, no, I know X, Y, and Z, right? But I don't know. That's always been my style, right? I always try to enable people to have that style as well.
You're like a push you into the deep end and learn that way type of guy.
120%.
Yeah.
Not a bad mentality, but
Not at all.
bad things could happen.
A lot of bad things have happened.
I will say, and this is as of right now, this is my favorite Slycoco moment with you. One thing that I don't know, Michelangelo, you knew, Sly, the last King's Cup, said he wasn't going to compete. He was already signed up to compete, and he said, no, if you need another commentator, I'll help you out. So that was the good thing for that came out of that. While we were streaming, he actually opened my eyes about something that I did not know that I was doing, and then I watched it back, and I apologize to you about it.
That's okay.
And so during the stream, I was talking. Sometimes Sly was trying to get a word in, but I was because like something would happen, and I would talk over him. So then, the nicest way he could takes his headset off and just goes, "Hey, you're kind of talking over me. Can you give me a chance to talk?" I'm just like, "Oh shit, am I bad?"
You know what's hella funny? Dakota talked to me about that moment.
This dude, right? So I'm editing the VOD, and I'm seeing this interaction going down, and I was like, Fist is talking over fucking Sly. What the fuck is going on, right? And then and then immediately, as soon as I have that thought, that's when you're like, because the headset has the little boom arm to it.
Right.
So instead of you just grabbing the boom arm, you grab the whole ear cup, only for the headset to still be sitting dead in front of your mouth. And you're like, hey, man, I need you to help me out real quick. I need you to stop. Right? Whatever you said, right? Whatever verbatim phrase you said. And in my mind, I was just like, do you not understand how this works? Dude?
No. Because I just wanted to get my point across.
And then the look on your face was like, wait, you heard that? I was like, yeah. Dude, what do you mean?
Well, no, because somebody in chat was like, what was said between you guys?
What was said? Yeah.
So that's why I was like, oh, I must have did it properly.
Yeah, we didn't think about it. And,
but I also didn't want to call you out in front of stream. But I do appreciate you listening.
No, yeah, well, it's because like you understand when you're commentating with this guy, you got to get your lick in before he does.
Yeah.
That can be taken two ways.
You're fighting for scraps out here.
You're basically no, seriously. There are like I'm not going to name. There's only one person in here right now that I'll name, and it's no disrespect, Michael. That's why I always say when you and I commentate, we balance like we're playing tennis.
Yeah.
And I've learned that as like for me to say something, I gotta get that. I gotta get in, I gotta get it,
Yeah.
And I stay in that mentality. And then when I'm with Sly, I'm like I'll dial it back. Let Sly get in too. He'll get his sense in.
Yeah,
Just go back. It's a slower pace of tennis with you than with me and Mike. It's like
Yeah, I know. And even at Guildhouse stuff, I always tell myself like I always worry about interrupting and like I'm like, am I talking? Because I don't want to be like certain commentators where like sometimes I feel like, damn, this is hard to get a word in on this guy, and I don't want to be that guy. And I always love, I'd rather you say something to me that's going to help me rather than just compliment me and say what I'm doing good, because I know what I'm doing good. I'd rather you say like if I was the same if I was doing what Michael did, I would like for you to say that too. Hey, like, can I get a word in or something? Because sometimes I'm like, damn, are they just not letting me know that I'm always like overbearing or maybe talking over them? I would love to know that because then I'm not going to learn and I'm just going to keep doing it. You know what I mean? And I know, and sometimes I worry, like, you guys know I'm the head commentator and I have the what say, so I could boot you guys.
Oh my god!
But I want to see a motherfucker try.
This guy, dude.
Kick you guys out. But no, I have more respect for you guys.
That like went up pretty high for how low he is on the chair.
Yeah,
Shit.
yeah, dude.
Were you a can girl in a past life?
I'd have more respect and stuff for you guys to let me know, like, hey, motherfucker, like you did and stuff, right? Like make me feel like someone that if I'm doing everything right, that's cool. But if I'm doing something wrong, let me know, and that's cool, man, because you guys are all part of me and you're helping me and stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't want you to feel like fuck, like shit, it's Michael's gonna hog it or like too much, and then you're too worried about stuff. I want it to be easy.
There won't be any type of spite, like us giving you like our 2 cents or
No, that's so inspirational. Well, like how you could tell him, hey, and it wasn't because I've seen at least streams where the guy kind of got kind of disliked what the other commentator was doing. So it was more of a back and forth banter. Like you could tell they were kind of disliking each other, or someone said something. And it's like you guys went about it the mature way of like you felt a certain way and you had to tell him like, hey, like when I'm talking, just like
shut the fuck up.
You guys, yeah. And I feel like I don't have to tell someone that because I kind of came up with the solution. And this is just a little tip where I learned this a while back. When someone likes to interrupt, and it's not just commentating, it's in real life when someone's talking. When you're talking and someone kind of is like, you're not done, and someone talks over you, and then now they want to say what they have to say, just keep talking. And who's going to look like the fool? Obviously, you were talking first and you're not done talking. So, of course, you're just going to keep talking. And a lot of people, out of politeness, want to stop and be like, okay, this guy's interrupting me. I'll just let him talk. But I like when, and it's been done where commentators will like talk over me. I just say what I need to finish. And now we're both talking. And who's going to be the fuck up that is like, who looks bad at the end of the day? The guy that kind of interrupted and he tried to get, and now everyone's like, damn, they're both talking, but it wasn't really the guy that was beginning talking. He's just trying to finish what he was saying. He just got kind of rudely interrupted.
Right.
But you saying him, and you guys are friends where it's like you brothers, where you could be like, hey man, like, and you didn't, and luckily you didn't take it as you took the high road where you're just like, I understand, because now
he didn't rudely try to like, hey man, like if you shut up, I'm trying to talk. It wasn't even like that. Like it was just like he like was very polite, just like when he nudged me and said, hey, I'm trying to get some words. He like, that's it. That's all. I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he's like, hey, you're kind of overshadowing me. You mind fucking off and let me have the booth to myself?
Nah,
it wasn't like that.
I'm laughing because the only time that's ever the very few times I've ever commentated was with Atlanta. And me just being as high energy as fucking possible, right? I was just like, I gotta be Michelangelo. I just gotta kick this up into like the next gear, dude. Yeah. And then like just not letting Atlanta get a fucking word in, and then me realizing like after like 2 minutes, like, yo, he hasn't said a word this entire time, right? Like, and then just like I look at him, he's just staring at me, and I was like, oh, my bad. Like now it's clicking, like, oh shit, he's tried to talk like 6 different times, and I've just shouted over him, oh my god, he's going in.
So I try and like I have my like, I feel like if you talk for like 5 seconds, 3, so where it feels like you're getting your point across, now it's the other person's turn. I've dealt with like where I had to talk with like a combo fiend or good, really crazy, where I'm like, whoa, I'm nervous around this guy. And I know how you feel where like he's talking and he did it great where like they'll talk for like 4 seconds, whatever. And then they give it to you and it's like, you better have your 4 seconds because then it's them again. And it's like, it gets kind of wild where you're like, there's moments where you feel like you have something genius to say about that moment, but it's his turn and you can't interrupt it. And then there's the people that they feel like, dude, I have the most genius thing to say. So they want to interrupt, but the interrupting is going to hurt like in the, know.
Right.
So we're still learning all together, trial and error, and it's crazy and stuff. Like that weekend, Guildhouse Black, I felt alive for a moment, like the hour that I was supposed to, and then when I got on, I was kind of like, damn, like this is crazy, like Genesis Black, I was with Neo, and I could feel his energy, right? We could feel our energy, and I love. I always, even when I was in school, I always loved partner projects, right? I don't like being alone in something, and that goes with like feeling nervous. I'm way more nervous if I'm alone and feeling that way. But when I feel like Neo, Captain No Fun, or even you guys, when I do, and I feel like we're going to war together, right? It's like a football team. We're about to go to the field. It's just not so nerve-wracking because you're like, oh my God, my brothers are here. Like we're all feeling nervous. So it makes me feel less nervous to feel that way, right? So
get over the hump together.
Yes, it's always great to feel it with a team.
Oh right? Yeah, for sure.
But we're in the business of fighting games where you don't really have a team, only to train with lab. And I'm so happy with like Dakota Atlanta. Our goal in the beginning was let's do tournaments. But what is the goal of the tournaments really? Obviously, you guys are getting money and stuff and everything. We don't get from the pot or anything, but we all said we want to get NorCal prepared for the war of Evo or whatever, right?
Combo breaker,
we're an
CEO.
army. And damn, let me tell you, man, like I'm not trying to like pat ourselves on the back. It's more like just seeing like a lot of these players and you guys. I'm going to be honest with myself. I look at you guys and I'm just like, they had a lot of training from other places too, right? You guys go to like Guildhouse. You guys go to a lot of tournaments. And I'm just like, I think our real job, seeing this Evo where we were, and dude, all you guys made it out of pools. And I was just like, dude, it was right. What we did, what we wanted to create wasn't just let's make tournaments where they all want to beat each other's ass. It was more like, let's make tournaments so it's like the hyperbolic time chamber where they're whooping ass to get better together. And it's like, you guys face so many like Julio and YJK. Like, how many times have you met them in battle? Like, insane amount. Would Slycoco be as great and make it out of pools if like you didn't have those people to play with or something and you were just playing ranked online? Like, I don't know. Maybe you would have a different training regimen. But I credit like a lot of what I did when I went to like Yomi in Atlanta, and it was just gamers on gamers, and like we had the rivalry and like passion to like, oh, I want to beat this guy, like fuck, but he's my friend. And then when you go to a tournament and you're like, holy shit, like these guys are not as good as my friend. That was like my rival, but he was really my training partner. So I was just happy to see that like MADHouse year 2 is like what we've been striving for, kind of, is like, everyone is hella friends. Every time I look, when we went to Guildhouse, we kind of all piled together. I walk in, I see Michael and Dakota laughing their asses off, smiling. Atlanta came, I think, a little later, or that was day 2. And like, I just see like everyone is like the clique, right? But it's a big clique. And it's like you go to like this group and it's like all the crew. And it's almost like a fungus where like everyone starts forming together. And then it's like this big pile of people.
I'm a pretty fun guy.
It's just like collection. And I just love seeing it, man. I love seeing like the different personalities, Slycoco's there's laughing, bullshitting with people. Michael has to be saying some shit to people. You go to Norb, well, like,
oh yeah,
everyone has their thing.
To this day, it still scares him.
Yeah.
Every time. I have to sneak up on him every time. I have to. If I don't, it's pointless at that point.
Yeah. I'm always grateful, and when it really blows my mind is I always try to look at my 10-year-old self, and I'm like, what would my 10-year-old self think if he's like, hey, you want to see when you're 36 where you're at? And it's just like hella games around, hella friends that love video games. Like you said, you do this because you socialize. It's like your social group. It's your friends. It's like people you're around that like love what you love. And I learned that recently. Like I've had friends that like love music or play guitar and do this, but I've really learned that I latched on to like people that do what I do. It's easier to kind of do that. Just like with a girlfriend or something, right? Like you guys, you could get with a woman because she's hot, but then now she's all about makeup and this and that, and she doesn't like that you're playing video games. Or you could be with someone that has the same hobbies, right? You like go-karting, she likes go-karting, golfing, whatever the hell you guys like. It's easier to kind of like match, I guess. And I guess with friends, it's easier to do that too. It's like a fun thing. And I'm glad MADHouse year 2 has like really showed me, I'm like, damn, like it took a while, I think, to like, you guys first were coming here and like, I just want to beat this guy's ass. And then it became where it's like, I'm so used to seeing this motherfucker. Like we're going to low-key Flexen's house now and like playing games and like eating food. And like, it's became like this cool thing. Now we're looking forward to going to SoulCal, right?
Yeah.
For this, you know, all that stuff. And I'm just like, damn, we're slowly growing into this. Like we talked about it in the car, right? The car ride home where you're just like, and it really made me kind of like emotional and grateful, where you said, you were like, dude, like we got to appreciate this right now. And you're so appreciative of this right now, because if this does go away at, you know, hopefully not, but if this does go away 5-10 years from now, you're going to really miss this moment. You're going to be like, dude, that was fucking special. Cause I know a lot of people that they just do their job. They go home, they go to their girl, they eat, they go to sleep. Maybe they wake up, go to the gym, go to work, go to their girl. Like it's this thing. And I feel like, at least for me, and what you pointed out to me was like, you were like, dude, like Michael, like we really got to hold on to this. And like, look, man, we're in the back of my fucking garage, you know, recording, doing this, talking about each other. Like it's something that I know when I'm 80, like hopefully I'm there, but I know when I'm older, I'm going to like look back at this and I'm going to cry. I'm definitely going to cry about this. Like to see, first I'm 80, to see myself like this age, like, damn, that was me when I was 36, you know, I could still run, I could bike ride. And look, fuck, there's Dakota, there's Slycoco, there's Michael, you know, Atlanta. And it's a beautiful thing. Like, it's like, you know, we all appreciated, like, we probably look back at our pictures, school pictures, and there's friends we thought we were going to keep forever. And then it's like, damn, like, we were fucking great, man. So it's like that car ride, you know, home really made me appreciate, like, it more. And I love that. I love when someone makes me feel so grateful. And lately you've been really making me feel grateful about things. Not that I have a trouble feeling grateful. I really do feel grateful about things. I love it. But like you really pushed it where I'm like, damn, this is great. Like feeling that moment, you know? And it's like, you really help with that.
No, for sure. I truly believe we're in a golden age right now. Cause like, honestly, from like Wednesday through Saturday, you could have a tournament to go to. But yeah, it's the kind of same thing where I see a lot of these players that I'm playing with on an everyday basis, almost more than sometimes I'm seeing my family. Sometimes I'm seeing my friends outside the FGC. And then when we're not at a tournament, we're in custom lobbies, we're in Discords. You know what I mean? And it's just like, it's so much time that we all get to spend together. But like, this is magical. Like Street Fighter 5, it wasn't like this. I wasn't really around for Street Fighter 4 era. But people always talk about those days as being like golden days too, when like the scene really boomed. And were you around during that time? Yeah. So like, you know, the scene's really booming. There's like multiple games. That's the thing too. It's like, even like at Genesis Black, it's like the people watching Street Fighter, there weren't just Street Fighter players. There's Strive players. There's Melee players. You know what I mean? And then everybody's coming to watch like a really hype Street Fighter match or something like that, or whatever, right? And it's like, that's great. That's special. But that's the thing. Like Genesis Black is like I was saying, it's a place where everybody can get together. And it's just so great to see the whole community together. But at Evo, I think really solidified that. I was like, holy shit, like we are a real tight-knit group. Where the fact that everybody's super supporting. Obviously, True is went on that super crazy run. But just not only super supporting him and like being like proud of him and be like, damn, that guy comes from our area. But just seeing the whole community, like everybody was like running to like watch his match. And like, do we have to watch him play? We have to root him on. You know what I mean? And then you know, after that, we'll all go eat or drink or whatever. And it's like, that's like, to me, that's special. Cause this is the first Evo I ever had something like that, where I'm hanging out with my FGC friends versus like typically most Evos, my non-FGC friends come and they hang out with me, but it's mostly like we're just there for Vegas, and Evo just happens to be going on. But like this year, I was like, dude, I'm like in the thick of it. I'm spending multiple hours at Evo. I don't just play my matches and then go and do other Vegas stuff, right? Like I'm in the thick of it, and like it's sick. It's fucking sick. It's super sick, and it's super sick to like have tournaments all the time, see all these people, and there's always discourse right now in the FGC of like, oh, there's not enough shit talking, there's not enough banter or whatever, blah blah blah. But like honestly, it's pretty cool to show up and have people be nice to you and want to help you. And like, I mean, I don't know what it's like in other regions, but like NorCal, like we're here to help each other grow. Like there's so many players that I've never beat, but are still willing to beat my ass 50 games in a row. And sometimes I'm like, man, I'm like, is this even fun for you? But like they do it time and time again. Like they'll play the like 30 to 50 matches with me, and I don't win a single one, but I learn, and then they talk with me about it afterwards, and they're willing to like help me learn and grow. And it's like, I think stuff like that's important, and that's what community is for, and it's like, that's sick, man. That's so like, that's super sick. Like I don't know, we're in a super sick time, and like fucking FGC is like, or NorCal FGC is like where it's at, man. And I love it. Yeah, it's fucking sick, man. It's sick.
I think one of the top 3 best compliments I've ever gotten, like throughout the entirety of MADHouse, actually came from you, dude. Where I was like asking you about like, I forget, like all the little interactions that I have with like everybody since I have become TO, and the way that you posed it was like, Dakota, you have this ability to have every single person that comes through those doors, right? For the most part, right? You have the ability to make everybody seem like they've been seen themselves, right? Like everybody knows, like, oh, I've been a part of MADHouse. Dakota had that little interaction with me, because I always make like a dumb joke to Slycoco, right? Like the ongoing joke is always like, hey man, you're a pillar of this community, right? Because we had an interaction a while back where he was like asking me, he's like, hey, should I say what's up to this person? And I'm over here like, dude, you should say what's up to everybody. Hey, I'm going to thank you in advance for doing that. You know what, man? Yeah. You're a pillar of this community.
And I don't know if you planted the seed, but like I do try to go out of my way to say like what's up to like faces I've never seen. I try to like dap everybody up. And even when I go to like I went to Sacramento recently, and like I try to introduce myself. Like I went to build rapport, and I happened to do well in tournament, which is also nice, but like I did commentary out there, but like I went to build rapport, and I wanted to like introduce myself to people, and I also wanted to like rep you guys and be like, yeah, like I'm kind of a part of MADHouse, and you guys should come out to Kings Cup. Like one of them came out to Genesis Black. It was like nice. I don't know how many people he knew, but it was nice to at least be like a center point of like I can say what's up to him. I can introduce him to people, and I can like I just hope he feels comfortable. You know what I mean?
It was the DJ player, right?
Yeah, Jack.
Yeah, that one cat.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, that was like, it's funny to see like you mentioned, hey, the level of camaraderie we have just in NorCal, and how, while I may have like, an inside joke with like, I'm just joshing, all right, you, or just like anybody else, like Fist of Fury for that matter, right? I see everybody else have their own little inside jokes, like like again, you with Norv going well, right? Just like all
I'll do it.
There's so many different things that I'm just like, bro, this is sick. Like we really have built a community, dude, and it's just like I don't know, dude. It's just cool that it's all around. We all have a passion for this thing that we do.
Yeah, yeah, dude. Yeah, and that's why. Honestly, that is why, like, I feel like I'll follow you guys in the battle, man. Just seeing your guys' passion, all 4 of you, really. Like, I see your guys' passion. I see the vision. And I think it was almost like off the rip, like when we met. Because I think I met you guys like shortly right before Evo last year as well. But yeah, man, the passion really like soaks through. And like I said, like you just remembering like my friend Josh, even though he hadn't shown up to a lot of events, but he walks in with me and you remember his name. You like put him in the thumbnail for like the YouTube video and I was like, man, that's fucking sick. I hella appreciate you doing that. Like, for somebody who's like not showing up, like not showing up that often, but like still wants to be a part of the community. You know what I mean? So like, man, that's like, yeah, that's like super sick of you. Yeah, man, it's cool, man.
Dude, I love giving that guy a hard time where it's just like, what's up, man? Look, we got you on commentary, dude. It's only like,
I keep telling them,
hey, man, we got you on commentary. There's only like 300 plus people here, dude. So if you fuck it up, everybody's gonna fucking know. So, but dude, you got it, man.
Yeah,
just walking away. That's like, oh man,
trying to find the exit door.
Yeah, exactly, dude. No, he's a real cool cat. He's a really cool cat. I mean, dude, we've covered a lot of information so far. I mean, talk to us, dude. Like, what? Maybe not to wrap this thing up, but like, is there a piece, or there's like something about, you know, the FGC or MADHouse, or like a special moment where like a cool story you think a lot of people might appreciate, or something that a message that you might want to share with someone who's at home right now?
Well, I do always believe in the support your locals thing. As far as cool stories, I don't know. One of my favorite stories, I guess, is doing commentating while I was playing at King's Cup, and you were holding the mic for me.
I so desperately wanted to bring that up. Yeah, I almost forgot about that. Walk us through that. What was the story with that? How did that become? And then what was going through your mind as it's going down? Granted, you said a lot of what you were thinking immediately as it was happening, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I always tell that to you too. It's like, wow, this is really big for you right now. But
yeah,
walk us through it.
I said it low key as a bluff, and then Michael was like, well, we could do it. And then, you know, I do like to challenge myself in this. I was like, you know, fuck it, I'll do it. And then, yeah, we got up there. But same thing where I wasn't nervous when it started, but I think he had taken me to game. I think it was like last round or whatever.
Last round.
Yeah, and then but I got really nervous. I was like, if I lose in front of everybody while doing this like stunt, and I was like, fuck, I cannot lose this. And luckily I didn't.
No.
I somehow pulled off, but boy, oh boy, was I nervous.
You were missing a lot of your perfects.
And that's why. I mean,
is hard with Luke.
But that was crazy. That's one of my favorite moments. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like, honestly, like I said, on a day-to-day basis, I always just I look forward to seeing everybody. I look forward to seeing you guys a lot. Like, you know, and you guys have a real special ability to make people feel welcome, and like that means the world to me. Because like when I was like back in like Street Fighter 5 days, and I was going to like ESA Oakland, like, you know, granted I had like my friends, but like I guess I never felt like I was part of like the quote unquote in crowd, which I guess
the community.
Yeah, like saying it now out loud, it just feels kind of dumb. But like, you guys made me feel like I was like a part of something. You guys made me feel like I was like a part of like what you guys got going on, and all the passion that you guys are like pouring into it. You're able to recognize it into other people, and like I really feel like you guys really empowered me, and like doing the whole commentary thing, like to the point where I don't even feel nervous doing with you on my first time. But only because you guys, like, I feel like you guys empowered me so much. And you guys just, like, off the rip were like, hey, get on the mic. We believe in you. Good luck, you know, like, and it's like.
Sink or swim.
Yeah, but that means, like, that type of stuff means a lot. Because I've always just wanted to just be, like, a part of this. And because I watched, I'm an 09er, and I've watched from the sidelines for, like, years. I was a big stream monster for, like, years. So to actually be a part of it, and just to, like, you know, like, my face is on camera all the time now. Like, I'm on a mic, like if you need to know where I'm at on a Friday night, most likely I'm commentating for MADHouse or whatever, right? And it's like that type of stuff is like really special to me. And it's like, yeah, I feel like I'm living out my FGC dreams, and that's why I was saying, like, we're living in a golden era. It's like, man, I feel like I'm a part of something that's like bigger than myself. I'm part of a community, and you know, I just hope to really leave like a good lasting impression, at least for the people that are here, and just like, yeah, same thing. I hope everybody feels loved. But like, yeah, I don't know, man. I have to attribute like almost all of my success to like you guys, like really like lifting me up and empowering me. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Support your locals. Come to MADHouse events. Go to all events. If you like Street Fighter, doesn't matter the level that you play at. Come to your events. Come hang out with the community. NorCal is great. Like, NorCal is great, and I really can't stress that enough.
Yeah, I know what you mean by like, when you go to, you know, and I've been there, where you go to a certain event and you don't feel so welcome. And I'm glad I work with these two dudes where that is something that we highlight, is like, we're not behind the curtains. We are like, we're going to be with you guys hanging out. We don't want to feel like we're better than you because we run the thing. We want to feel like we're like, come on, we're all friends here. And I've been told by people about Atlanta and Dakota, where it's like, they say, damn, it's so cool, like how I could just talk to you guys, and it's like a new face, right? It's like someone that's intimidated or something, where they're thinking like, man, like, I can't believe I could just go up to you guys and ask about my pool, or you know, you give me a chance, I could just ask to commentate, and you know, it's like we're in the fire with you guys, and we want people like you and stuff to be discovered and be known, and be like, hey, And so I appreciate when people do come up to us and they're like, that's so cool that like you guys are a venue that is just there too, like hanging out, and you know, you're willing to let people commentate and stuff. And so I appreciate that. You know, I've been told by people, and I'm like, and I love that you guys have been characters. Like there's been people that I have friends that are not in the FGC, but you know, they see me commentating and then they see you guys and stuff. And you guys have built these characters where sometimes I look at, there was a moment at Guildhouse Black where I seen you as like, there was like an aura where I was like, whoa, this is Slycoco. Like you were like Mickey Mouse to me or something. And it was when you were talking to Cherie, because you're part of my life. Like when I go to MADHouse and stuff, right? Cherie's a part of my life, hanging out here. Sometimes she goes to MADHouse, but like I never seen you two really interact. And she talks about you though, because she, you know, she's there stream monstering, and she'll let me know who she likes and who's easy for me to talk to commentating and stuff. And she likes you. And then you've talked about her. And then when I was at Guildhouse Black and you guys were talking, it was like fucking Ryu meeting Sub-Zero or something. And I was
your worlds combining into
right.
one.
And it was just this thing. And I'm like, my brain couldn't compute. I was like, Slycoco talking to Cherie, like, what the fuck is this right now? Like, holy shit, these characters are actually interacting with each other. And I was commentating, but I was appreciating the moment where I was just like,
you looked over at us.
yeah, I was like, wait, interaction.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit, this is awesome. And I know like Michael, I loved seeing your face for the first time. You had a holy shit face. And usually you're making people have the moment of like, what the, but there was a moment you were confused and I loved it. And I was like, it brings me back to a time that it happened to me. But like, you introduced yourself to Nico and you said, hey, I'm Michael or Fist of Fury. And he was like, yeah, I know who you are. You're the John Cena King. And your face when he said that, you were like, what? What? Like, and it was just, I was just like, fuck yeah. Like knowing that you weren't prepared to know that, like, you guys are building characters. And for some people in, you know, that are watching, you're the John Cena King, right? You're the commentator / used to be Manon, Luke, the guy that commentated his own match, like, you know, stuff like that. And I always appreciate more than someone coming up to me and saying like, oh shit, Michael, like I love your commentary, whatever. I love when I look at like you guys and seeing someone do it to you guys and you guys are like, what the fuck? Like, wait, what's happening? And it was just like these cool moments. And it's like the building of these characters. Yeah. And I don't think Slycoco, you know, so as much, but you've been commentating for like a minute now.
Yeah,
right?
it feels that way. And it's funny. I do notice that like if somebody is to bring me up, the first thing they typically are like, oh, you mean the commentator? And I've noticed that people refer to me as and that's totally fine. Like, yeah, like, you know, I went into this being like, oh, I want to be like a strong player. I'll be the best Manon ever, blah, blah, blah. But like, that's totally cool. I'm totally happy with that role. And, you know, like I said, I just hope to provide value.
I think because you are a great commentator and as great as you are great at Street Fighter 6. And there is times where I'm just like, you were at a cusp of like, there was a Slycoco. There was a moment where I was like, it was like a month where I was like, fuck, like Slycoco, you could be like Tree Wiz right now. There was like, you were getting there. Your mind, I could see your mind. It started to like realize this is what I need to do to get good at Street Fighter 6 and be at like a YJK or something. And you were doing it. And then I feel sometimes the commentary took you away from that a little bit. Cause there was days I remember you were like, you know, I signed up, but I kind of want to commentate. And you know your skill. You're getting good at commentary. That's why people are saying the commentator, because you're just great at that. But you're still great at Street Fighter 6. Sometimes I'm wondering, do you still like want to be like, do you first have a goal of like winning like a local or something, or just going into commentary? And sometimes I'm like, I don't want you to completely, if you're not willing to, I don't want you to just be like, you know, I'm going to cut my prime short of playing to commentate. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I do go back and forth. Yeah, and I can only hope to be like half the player that like guys like True Wiz and YJK are. But like I do go back and forth of like, yeah, because there are times I have signed up and I'd be like, oh, if I go into, oh well, I'm just gonna go hop on the mic and just like do the rest of my time doing commentary. I will admit, playing a new character right now has kind of lit that back into me, where I'm like, I'm playing a new character. I've also switched over to modern, so now I feel like I need to prove myself, because I get, I'm expecting reactions like that. So I do want to show everybody that, like, well, yeah, while modern is quote unquote easy mode, my footsies are still better than yours, and my neutral's still better than yours. Yeah. So there's like part of me that wants to like prove that. So like a fire is lighting up in me again. And so, yeah, but you did hit the nail on the head, bro, of like, yeah, because I get a lot of positive feedback on my commentary, so I really appreciate that. And part of that is like, well, I kind of want to keep this up now. Yeah. And like, I actually really enjoy doing this. And like, yeah, it honestly, like, even going to like King's Cup, where I'm not really worried about competing and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do commentary the whole time. It's kind of nice to be like, all right, well, cool. I don't have to grind it out all week. I'm just going to show up and like, just speak about what I know of the game and speak, like be present in the moment. So yeah, I will admit I'm a little bit, like I kind of at a crossroads of trying to figure out what I want from like competing and being a commentator. But yeah, But like even like not getting chosen for commentary on Genesis Black, I went in there being like, all right, I want to go in there and fucking kill it. I went 1-2, but I did my best, and I just didn't want to go 0-2 because But yeah, but like I said, I am ready to prove that, like, while you guys might see me as a commentator, I still want to bust your ass, and I'm still here to do that. And I was losing a little bit of that with Luke, and I lost that with a little bit with Manon too. So like I said, playing a new character really helps, and moving forward, I definitely I was thinking like, man, like it's already October, November, December's coming, and then the new year, and then it's like Evo grind season before we know it. So, but also the same thing too. I want to go to Evo and like represent, like get out of my pools and be like, yeah, NorCal strong. Even your commentators are getting out of pools, and you know what I mean. So so yeah, I'm in a weird place with that right now, but a fire is being lit. And I'm just hoping that it spreads a little bit more. But yeah, don't get me wrong. Every time if you play me in tournament, just know I'm the only thing that's on my mind is busting your ass. So yeah, fuck all that. So yeah,
great to hear. Do you have like the floor is yours and stuff? Is there some like any shout outs you want to give, like any thanks for people or just anything really? Like, is there something we haven't touched upon that you would like to talk about? Maybe.
No, I think. Yeah, I was trying to figure out what I really wanted to talk about today. All right, I figured you guys would have questions lined up, and I also knew conversation would flow naturally. But the one thing I really did want to touch on, and we talked about this already, but like, I do want to let everybody know I genuinely love this community, and I love Street Fighter, and I love FGC. Not even just Street Fighter, actually. I respect all FGC, whatever fighting game you play. But like I genuinely love everybody. Like the bonds I've created with you guys is like special. Yeah, I don't know how long this will last for, but like this, as of right now, in this very present moment, I have like a lot of love and appreciation for you guys. Just even you guys like wanting to have me on here was really appreciated. Like even listening to your episode, I thought was really sweet. Appreciate all the nice things you said about me. But like there's a lot of people in the community who like I've bonded with, and going to people's houses and hanging out with them, like eat like outside of FGC events, like even when we went to that barbecue at your place, I had a moment there where I was like, holy shit! I was like, this is past fighting games. And granted, like, yeah, you guys had the stream up and everybody's playing, but like I went there to like mingle and like hang out and drink with your dad. You know what I mean? Like,
as most of my friends do.
Yeah, but to me that was a big moment of like, damn, this is bigger than fighting games. Like right. we're friends, we're hanging out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm finding myself having those moments more often with people in this, in the community. And like I said, I just super appreciate it. I really don't know where the fuck I'd be without this. Like
at an Ariana Grande concert.
Hey, if she goes on tour, she should go on tour. That's the only thing I do want to say. Go on tour, lady, so I can go to your shows. But yeah, I don't know. Like, this has been really great for me, and I just would really hope to give back to the community as much as I feel like I've gotten from it. yeah, I don't know. Like, I love this shit. This is the greatest. Like, this is great. Like, this, I'm like super happy with where I'm at in my life, and I do think a lot of it is like, you know, FGC and, you know, whatever my role is here. Like I said, I feel loved. I only hope that I could provide the same amount of love back, and just, you know, like, this is great. This is like really great. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I can go on. Like, I could just, I can say that over and over. I don't want to be redundant, but, like, you know,
All good.
yeah, I don't know. It's great.
I love it. No, it's the gratefulness is awesome. I'm about it.
Yeah. So, but yeah, as far as, I don't know. I don't know. I guess there's nothing else I really want to say. I don't know.
I feel like so to start back up again. That's great.
This end part is like, this probably described you the best of, like, I don't know. This is grateful. Like this, it's a ball of emotion that's awesome and humbling. It's a great thing. It's awesome. I don't know, but it's great. I love it. It's cool. This has been,
I like this.
What did you expect coming in? Like, you know, coming in here and like just being like, oh shit. Cause like, you know, I know how you are. Like we mentioned about the spotlight on you and stuff. Like, you know how to handle it, but you're still like, oh shit. When you were driving here today, knowing it was going to be you, what were you expecting that we were to ask maybe, or like anything? Were you like anything worried about, or anything where you were like, oh, I hope they touch upon this?
No, this kind of went exactly how I thought it would, and if you know, I've had 1,000 conversations with, you know, all four of you, so it's like I figured conversation would flow naturally, and you know, I was just kind of interested to see what kind of questions you guys would ask me, but I felt like I got out a lot of what I wanted to say, and this was fun. I don't know. It was a lot of fun.
The beautiful thing about this podcast is, like, while we can prepare questions, I mean, at the end of the day, we really just want to have a conversation with, you know, the people that are in our communities and just try to highlight them as best we can. But at the end of the day, it's just a conversation. We're just all hanging out.
Exactly.
Yeah. I was actually really nervous when I think you had asked me if I was nervous. I think one of you guys asked me.
I ask you all the time if you're nervous.
Yeah, that's true. But I was, and I said no because I didn't want to bring it to life. I guess I didn't want to like manifest it. Yeah, but I was really nervous throughout this whole thing, to the point where I feel like I was breathing really hard. I was breathing really hard into the mic, so I kept moving it so I could take deep breaths. But I was also like really conscious of all the cameras on me, and I was like, I don't want to be hella obvious that my shoulders are like that I'm like taking hella deep breaths.
I love it because like when I feel something, I feel the best thing to do is just tell you. Like, just ever since I was a kid, I don't want to feel alone in something, and know that someone else is going through it helps me. So knowing that you were like, no, I'm not nervous, but you were nervous, it might have been better to just be like, I'm fucking nervous. Let's ride this out together. You know, that I just know that helps me. And it's, you mostly do it. You mostly are like, this is how I'm feeling. So I like that. I like that you do it.
My thought process was I didn't want to say it at the beginning of the podcast. And then if people like read into like my body language, or if I like stutter over my words, because I do stutter a lot. I was like, I don't want people just to only assume I'm just like nervous all the time with like everything that I say. So I didn't want to put that idea out there. But now that we're like, I don't know if we're coming to a close, but like, that's fine. I was nervous. So
I had a moment too going into it. I had a moment today where I felt anxious, you know, and I was just like, it was just me in my head, and I didn't want to say it. And I know how to get over it pretty quick. And dude, let me tell you guys, there's that movie Inside Out, the cartoons and stuff. There's like, Cherie and I just watched part 2. We watched part 1, and she thought it was great and magical. And to be honest, it really helps knowing the thoughts that go in your head. It's a fun kid movie and stuff, but knowing that there's like these certain ones. And part 2 touched upon anxiety. And
wait, I haven't seen the movie yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
it was part of the trailer though.
Yeah.
Okay.
It shows in the trailer. It's not
The
really
trailer, it was like the big reveal that this is the new.
There's new
emotions.
emotions.
Exactly.
There's new emotions.
Okay. Yeah.
But watching that yesterday, I just love, since I was a kid, to know that, damn, I'm not because sometimes I felt like I was alone in this world with maybe an experience I had or an emotion or something. And the moment I realized, oh, this is natural and everyone's going through, most people are going through this, it just takes it away. And then like kind of watching that movie yesterday, especially the anxiety part of it, and it tells it in a funny way how it thinks of like all the scenarios that the future could possibly have, and it's all bad. It's all like, that's what anxiety, and just watching the movie kind of helped me where I was like, and I dealt with the moment when like Dakota was setting up, right? And I was just like, for some weird reason, I was just like, just nerves kind of hit me, and I was like breathing a little bit. And I was just like, but I always look forward to these. These kind of help with that. But knowing that, and then I thought of like, you know, just be in the moment, and it just went away, right?
Yeah.
But it's fun. Like, just all this was fun and great, and I'm happy. Like, you're a type of person. What I am inspired by you with is your, I guess, as they say, you wear your heart on your shoulder.
On my
I guess.
sleeve.
On your
Yeah,
sleeve. Yeah, you wear your heart on your sleeve. I love it. I love it. That's who you are. When I think of Slycoco, I think of heart on the sleeve and Ariana Grande. There we go.
And cherry coke.
Yeah,
Cherry Coke.
Slycoco, and yeah. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
if anyone else wants to say anything, and
I think we covered it all, dude. Hey, we appreciate you for being on the show, dude.
No, thank you guys for having me.
You're a pillar of this community, man.
Well.
All right. Well, Michelangelo, what do we say at the end of all our streams?
well, everyone,
Wait.
wait, love everyone,
Oh yeah.
be appreciative, and stay
mad. Holy shit.
I don't give a piss about nothing but the tide.
Nice, that was fun.
Yeah, it's just a fun time.
Yeah.